Triple H addresses The Rock and Roman Reigns. We are full steam ahead towards the Elimination Chamber. And Bayley gives her first promo since leaving Damage Control last week. And that is just a taste of what happened on one of the most consequential and high-stakes SmackDowns of 2024. I hope you'll join me here on Let's Talk Wrestling. Welcome to Let's Talk Wrestling. My name is Christian, and this is the pro wrestling portion of the Let's Talk Gratitude channel, where today I'm going to be reviewing the action last night on SmackDown. So let's just jump right into the most important part of the night, the most eye-popping portion of the night. Triple H starting the show, the game, to address all the events that happened on Thursday, especially the big stuff. Of course, Rock, Cody, and Roman. He comes down, says the press conference, this press event started us on the road to WrestleMania. But somewhere along the way, that road got set on fire. Boy, I wonder who did it. Tripp says he wants to clear the air of confusion in the room because some people don't know their roles. And some people are trying to assert power or authority when they don't actually have any. Trips then says he really doesn't care where you sit, that the answers come from one person, and of course that one person is Triple H himself. He then says it's official, and then I would say in parentheses, for now, that Cody Rhodes will face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in the main event for the WWE Championship. He said, I would just say, don't be surprised if between now and April, you get at least 2 or 3 more twists and turns within this story, because we have a whole lot of March in front of us before we get to WrestleMania. So yeah, don't be surprised if we get 2 to 3 more twists. Trips then says that there are some people who aren't going to like that decision. But quite frankly, it doesn't matter if you don't like that decision. Hit the mic drop. Welcome to the road to WrestleMania. And right off the bat, this entire promo was exactly what I wanted from Triple H. Just straight up, subtly addressing The Rock and Roman Reigns for their antics at the press conference. I love this on-screen power struggle, this sort of Succession, Game of Thrones, like people trying to be the head person in charge and toss their weight around. I like this power struggle a lot. And it's because it's not totally in your face between The Rock and Triple H, but there's this subtle, like, if you're in the know on on these two guys' past and history with one another, they didn't really like each other back in the day. And so this just adds more layers to the story that's really exciting. Loved this opening promo from Triple H. And I love where this story's heading with Rock, Roman, Cody, Triple H now. We'll see what Seth Rollins has to say about Roman Reigns. Because I hope Seth Rollins gets his get back on Roman Reigns for absolutely trashing him. Seth Rollins has taken the most hits out of anybody involved in this, and he's not even going to be in the match with Roman as of right now. So, looking forward to what's ahead of us. Let's look at the rest of SmackDown. That was the most eye-popping part. Right after, Triple H hands it off to Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, who are in the ring, who tell us what the road to the Elimination Chamber is going to look like. They give us 6 qualifying matches over the next 3 weeks to determine who's going to be in the Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. I'll run through who those contestants are going to be. AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed, Ivar, who I really appreciate is in these qualifying matches. I think he's absolutely earned it with his top-notch work on Raw over the last couple of months. So happy Ivar's in. Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, interesting that they put him in here. This is how I guess they're going to get him to Perth, Australia. The Miz, and last but not least, Bobby Lashley. So, as I said, a series of qualifying matches over the next 3 weeks, where we get the first of those qualifying matches as the first match of the night between AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre. LA Knight comes down on commentary. We get one of these matches that could be a main event match on any pay-per-view on free television. AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. Lucky us. Happy Friday. This was an absolutely excellent match, by the way. And boy, who's surprised? AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre in a match, and they absolutely kill it. Who'd have guessed it? I mean, AJ's in the best shape of his life. Drew McIntyre's doing some of the best work of his career. I'm loving both of these guys. Story of the match: AJ Styles attacks Drew McIntyre's knee. Finish of it: Drew throws AJ Styles into LA Knight, then throws him back in the ring. AJ Styles gets a sneaky roll up on him, but LA Knight, angry after AJ runs into him, hops up on the apron, distracts the ref from the pinfall. AJ Styles pops up, punches LA Knight in the face, and then eats a Claymore for his trouble. Drew McIntyre gets the 1-2-3 for the win and is in. First entrant into the men's Elimination Chamber match. Good for Drew. I fully expect Drew McIntyre to win the entire Elimination Chamber and go to WrestleMania to face Seth Rollins and win. That is my preliminary guesses at this moment. Excellent opening match by these two guys. I could watch these two fight all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. Next, had a pretty deadly vignette. Yes, boy. They say that they're ready to make names for themselves, and I'm ready for these guys to make names for themselves on SmackDown. I'm a big fan of these guys. So, this brings us to the next qualifier match for the women's Elimination Chamber match. Of course, Becky Lynch already qualified and in the match. Bianca Belair and Michin are fighting for a qualifying spot. Pretty good match. Michin looked a lot more competitive than she usually does in these kinds of matches, especially with someone like Bianca Belair. Really let her do a lot, and I was appreciative of it because I like Michin a lot, and I wish they would give her more to do, her and the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson. But you take what you can get, and Bianca gets the win, of course. It's kind of coming to a lull. Bianca wins at this point for her character, but she's incredibly talented, incredibly young, really, really good. Not surprised that they're going to give her a bunch of wins. But a simple match for the most part. Michin looked good. Bianca gets the win and is qualified for the Elimination Chamber with Becky Lynch. Next up, we get a backstage segment. Braun Breaker and Triple H are in the locker room. Braun approaches Triple H for some advice on where he should go, Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. And Triple H is about to give him some advice before old Paul Heyman, the wise man, interrupts their conversation to talk with Triple H. Triple H asks Braun Breaker to give him and Paul the room. And Triple H absolutely mean mugs, intimidates the heck out of Paul Heyman, gives him that death stare of, please leave my presence before I punch you in the face. Paul Heyman says that The Rock and Roman Reigns will be on SmackDown next week to address Triple H and Cody Rhodes, assumedly. Paul then leaves the room. Triple H looks off camera and says, looking forward to it. So, excited for that little face-off that we're going to get next week between... I hope Triple H will be there on screen to talk with The Rock and Roman Reigns, and assumedly Cody Rhodes will also be there. That's going to be exciting. Must-watch television next week. But, hallelujah, hallelujah, we get a Bayley promo. She comes out to a chorus of cheers, a chorus of Bayley chants, and wants to talk about what happened last week. Of course, getting kicked out of the Damage Control, and now on her own, challenging Io Sky at WrestleMania. Before she can really get into it, Dakota Kai comes out, that old snake, and she comes out and says that, that she's on Bayley's side, or she was put in a tough spot. She didn't know what to do, didn't know how to tell Bayley that things were getting weird between Io, Asuka, and Kairi and her. I don't trust Dakota Kai for a second, and that's just me. Dakota Kai just gives off that snake, in the grass vibe of, she's trying too hard to get you to believe that she's just an innocent bystander in this whole scenario. But Bayley gives her the ultimatum and asks her, who's she with? What side are you on? Before Dakota Kai can give an answer, though, Io and the Kabuki Warriors come down to assumedly attack Bayley. And I really like the image of Io with the two Kabuki Warriors behind her. That was a really, really good image as they came down to the ramp. They hop up on the apron. Dakota Kai crawls out of the ring to leave Bayley in the ring by herself. Looks like she's just going to be a coward. But before the rest of the old Damage Control can attack Bayley, Dakota Kai slides back into the ring with a chair and runs off Io and the Warriors. And seemingly for now, looks like Bayley and Dakota are on the same side. Again, if I'm Bayley, wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her. Wouldn't trust Dakota as far as I could throw her. That is a full-on snake in the grass. Don't be surprised if she bites you in the back when you least expect it. That was the Bayley segment. Next, we get a number one contenders match for the Tag Team Championship at Elimination Chamber. This is DIY versus Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Fantastic match. What, again, is not to like about all these competitors in this match? We get Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne, the return of Pete Dunne, DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. All absolute pros. All NXT standouts back in the day. Great match. And the return of the super prodigy NXT UK version of Tyler Bate has been one of my favorite things about SmackDown. Because I've said it before, he provides just such a breath of fresh air on SmackDown with the way that he works inside the ring. And both teams again looked awesome in this match. Lots of really good tag team maneuvers. Unfortunately for DIY, Pete Dunne gets the win for Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne in this match by hitting a bitter end on Johnny Gargano for the 1, 2, 3. Clean finish, no screwy finishes, no outside interference. So we just get a nice clean end of this number one contenders match, which I appreciate. It's a nice change up because often we get the screwy, dusty finishes. But great match, great finish. Looked like Johnny got a little busted open, had some blood on his hand and running down his nose. So hopefully nothing broke, nothing too bad. Just some scrapes and bruises and a little bit of blood. But hopefully Johnny's okay. This leads us to our last match of the night, the main event. Another Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Another matchup that could be main eventing any pay-per-view, any month of the year. Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn. Fantastic match. Two top superstars in the company. Sami Zayn looked incredible. Randy Orton looked incredible. Story of the match was Randy Orton's back giving him some problems after he hit a superplex on Sami. Landed really hard on his back and was feeling it the entire rest of this match. Sami A lot of really good back and forth, a lot of good near falls. Randy, though, gets the win after Sami Zayn hits one of those springboard leapfrogs behind Randy. Randy hits the RKO out of nowhere for the 1, 2, 3. We now have our second qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton joining Drew McIntyre. Speaking of Drew McIntyre, we got a post-match stare down because after Sami Zayn leaves the ring, Randy Orton celebrates on the top rope, does his pose, comes down, and who's standing behind him other than the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. They stare down. Drew McIntyre says, "We've done this dance before, we can do it again." Randy Orton says, "Looking forward to it." And we go off screen, we go off the air. Great episode of SmackDown. I really appreciated that every single match on SmackDown had some consequence to it, had some stakes to it, because this is really the reason why it's the sense of urgency everybody has, men and women, tag teams included, to find a spot on the WrestleMania card. Sami Zayn had an interview before his match. Randy Orton also had an interview echoing the same sentiments of I'm running out of time to find a spot on the WrestleMania card. And I love that sense of urgency that everybody sees WrestleMania and is treating it like the stage of the immortals that it is. So I hope we continue that feeling, that vibe of urgency for everybody involved, because I think it just absolutely ups the intensity for all the matches. So yeah, great episode of SmackDown. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you stuck around, thank you for watching. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to help this channel grow. Hit the notify bell so you don't miss any new videos from Let's Talk Wrestling or from the Let's Talk Gratitude main content. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.